Hello everyone, welcome to this demo on CDC integration with EazyDI, where I'll be showcasing how we can seamlessly replicate the data from IBM DB2 into Snowflake using EazyDI's built-in change data capture framework. So hi, I'm Shum Agarwal, head of R&D at EazyDI, and today I'll walk you through the entire flow, like from setting up the connections to performing a live incremental load into the Snowflake. So without wasting much time, let's jump right into the demo. So this is EazyDI's pipeline creation screen. Here, before we begin, let's quickly edit the name, make the full name to this pipeline. So this is IBM DB2 Snowflake. Sorry, typo. And it's for demo. Okay. So with that being said, what we can do is in case if we want to create a pipeline, we can also, in case if we want to have this pipeline created under a specific folder, we can do that as well. Using this select folders options over here. But let's quickly jump into the connectors section. So as you can see, there are a bunch of connectors available in EazyDI. There's a whole list of it. So let's quickly search for IBM, because for source today we will be using IBM DB2, and for target we will be using Snowflake. So let's quickly click on connect. So as soon as we click on connect, it will take us to the configuration part of that particular source connector. So for today's demo, I have already created a connection, but in case if we want to create a connection, all we have to do is we have to click on this add connection button. We have to just provide a couple of details that are prerequisite or required for that particular connector in order to for EazyDI to connect with that particular connector or that particular database. Okay, so like for this IBM DB2, we'll have to provide host name, port, database, username and password, and so on. We can also change the environment if we want to. But for today's demo, I've already created one. So let's quickly select that and move forward. Just to save us a little bit of time, I've created a connection already. So let's quickly cancel it. Let's select the connection. So in the meantime, it brings all of the metadata, that is a list of tables. We can verify the we can also check quickly check what details we provided while we created the connection below. So in the connection object, EazyDI already brings all of the tables that are there inside a particular database that we have provided. So as you can see, for today's demo, I've created a small database just to keep it simple, and I don't want to make it much more complex, so I created a whole new table just for today's demo. So that's what I'm using here. And for today's demo, let's select mylib customers, okay, as a table that we want to bring the data from. Okay, so in read mode we have two options over here. Okay, so like one is all will what will happen is whenever we will run the pipeline, at that moment of time, whatever data is residing in IBM DB2 under this table, it will bring all of the data. Okay, let's say for an example, I am executing the pipeline today. So today, whatever at whatever time I am executing, at that time, at that period of time, whatever data I have, it will bring all of the data. Okay, let's say I'm next week I am executing the pipeline again. So what it will do is it will bring again all of the data. It won't bring only the data that has been updated or deleted, or basically that's the new data. Okay, so it will bring all of the data irrespective of when it was updated and so on. But in case if we are looking for data, we are looking for capturing only the data that was changed or added or deleted, so in case if we are looking for that data, sort of incremental data, what we have to do is we have to select the second option called Incremental CDC. So how this works in EazyDI or how this works in IBM DB2 is IBM DB2 maintains a log journal for this. Like whatever changes we have made on particular table, it maintains a log journal entries for the same, and it maintains like whether it was updated, whether it was deleted, or whether it was added, and so on. Based on that log entries, EazyDI keeps a track. Like for an example, let's say you have you have executed this pipeline today at 2 p.m. just for an example. So what it will do is at 2 p.m. whatever log journal entries EazyDI has fetched, so it will keep a track of that log journal entry. Like for an example, let's say there were 4 rows, so the log journal entry was 4. So EazyDI will keep that log journal entry 4, and whenever we will re-execute the same pipeline, or let's say we have scheduled this pipeline to the in the next week. So in the next week, whenever it will start reading the data, it will start from that fourth journal entry. So sorry, fifth journal entry, because fourth one is already we read it in the last week. So it will start from the fifth one, not from the first one. So that's how EazyDI does CDC for IBM DB2. So with that being said, let's select read mode incremental to, because we are demonstrating the incremental itself. So let's select the read mode incremental, and let's click next. So as you have seen, it was that simple to configure the source connector. Now let's quickly do the same for target as well. Let's select Snowflake, click on connect, and for, same goes here as well. I've created a connection, but in case if you want to do, we can just quickly add the required details, and in case if we want to test the connection, we can also test and then create, or we can, if we want to directly create, we can create the connection as well. As you have noticed, there might be few of the parameters changed over here. That is because for Snowflake, few of the required details are different. For IBM2, they are different. So based on the connector that we have selected, it will vary. Okay, so let's quickly cancel this and select the connection that we have already created. Again, we can verify the details below, and in the meantime, it will bring all of the meter that we have, based on the provided details. So I've already created a table for us today. So that's easy map SA underscore customers. Okay. So here again, there are three modes in whenever we are writing. There are three modes like append, overwrite, and incremental. So append will automatically append the data irrespective of when it was updated and so on. Same goes for override. It will each time it will truncate the records, and then it will add the records that we are bringing in using this read mode. And in incremental, what we will do is we will take leverage of Snowflake's incremental approach, and we will increment the data in the target table. Okay, so for today's demo, let's select incremental. So it will automatically update the required rows and the required columns, whichever we want to update. Okay, so let's quickly select that. Now what we will have to do is for a Snowflake's incremental approach, we will have to specify which ID is unique. Accordingly, it will update the record. So in our table, ID column itself is unique. So we are selecting that. Let's quickly click on next. So the third screen is field mapping screen. So here what we have to do is we have to map source column names to the target column names. And in case if we want to do some transformations, we can click on FX operation and apply the transformations. But as you can see, email is automatically mapped. But in case if we want to map a specific columns, what we have to do is we have to just click on it and do a drag and drop operation. It is that simple and straightforward. Okay. And in case if we want to auto match, we can just click on it. If we want to clear, we can clear it. But in case if we want to have some sort of FX operation, we can just click on it, and we can provide the operations or transformations on the fly. Okay, and let's click on next and go to the configuration screen. So as part of configuration, this would be the final screen. Here what we can do is we can schedule our jobs. If I want to run my job on weekly basis, I can do that. If I want to run my job on daily basis, I can do that as well. So that sort of configuration that I have to do is on this page. Okay, I have to provide a couple of details like scheduling name, what would be the start date and time, then what would be the time zone, and what would be the repeat frequency, like I want to run it on weekly, monthly, hourly, and minutes, daily, and so on. If I'll select any one of those, it will provide ask me more details like on which day and when do you want to end it, or you want to repeat it indefinitely, and so on. But for today's demo, let's quickly select without scheduling and move forward. So this is the preview screen. So here what we can do is we can take a quick preview like whatever selections we have made so far. So once we are done with that, we have to click on submit button. Now our pipeline is created, and once we click on done, it will take us to the second on the manage tab. So here what we can do is we can execute the pipelines, edit it, delete it, and so on. So let's quickly start our pipeline and see if the pipeline that we have created using incremental approach, whether it is working fine or not, or what's happening. Okay, as soon as we create that, we can come to the monitor screen, and we can take a look at it, like how many pipelines are in progress or queued state under this tab. And in case whenever the pipeline gets completed, like whenever they are in eventual completion state, like whether it can be success or whether it can be failed, once they are completed, they'll be moved to the archive tab, and they'll be removed from the in progress tab. So as you can see, earlier it was queued state, now it is in progress state. That means it's currently working. So let's see what happens, and it should hardly take a couple of seconds, in order to get completed. So let's quickly check. Yeah, as you can see, it has already completed, and let's quickly go to the archive tab and check whether our pipeline was, succeeded or whether it was failed. As you can see, it is succeeded. If I'll click on it, I can see more details of it. Okay, let's quickly verify this in our in our databases as well. So as you can see, I'm using DBware in order to access my databases. So this is my IBM DB2 database. As I was showing you that I've created a new database, that is this test DB, and under that I had four tables. So we were using customs, right? So we'll quickly take a look at it. So we had 6 rows, and let's quickly verify if we are able to get that in Snowflake as well. So this is my Snowflake database easy map that we selected while configuring the pipeline, and the table that we selected was SA underscore customers. So let's quickly refresh this and see. Yeah, so there is SA customers. Let's quickly take a look at it. Okay, so we have 6 rows, and here as well we have all of the records. Let's go again here. Yeah, there was 6 rows. So as you can see, we were able to move the data successfully from our source to target using CDC approach. Yeah, in case if we are making any sort of changes to our this rows, or we are adding anything and we are re-executing that pipeline, so it will only bring the the newly created data, or the updated data, and then it will update it into the Snowflake environment. So that's because now log entry will track like how many changes were there, and accordingly it will just fetch from that particular point, and then it will automatically update it into the Snowflake environment once we re-execute the pipeline. With that being said, just to summarize, like how EazyDI connects natively to the IBM DB2 and Snowflake, and takes leverage of the CDC mechanism as well. So this makes it ideal for building the real-time data pipelines across hybrid environments. And with that being said, this brings us to the end of this demo. Thank you so much for watching this video, and for more information or detailed walkthrough of your environment, please feel free to reach out to the EazyDI team. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.